for some reason, I think that you both were supposed to meet each other and have that experience. More than often, people show up to a place and they have an agenda. But in that agenda, one should be flexible. So in other words, you might come someplace wondering if you're going to learn something from me. But what if you're supposed to learn something from someone else here? And so I sometimes see people here that kind of like trying to get something from me, and yet in that moment they're in a dyad with the person, kind of in their own pain, and kind of their own self-absorbed experience, not aware that that person might actually be going through the same thing or have something really significant to share with you, with that person, to open you up. I've sometimes put people together in groups, and like one person's looking for a job and another person needs an assistant, and they exchange numbers, and it's kind of cool. So when you show up here, really show up here to the infinite possibilities. I mean, the best way to really make the law of attraction work for you, again, is to keep your heart open and allow yourself to be curious to what could possibly come out of all of this. It's not the outcome. If you are more solution focused and more caught up with the outcome, more than likely you're going to feel as though that you failed. You're going to be let down because these expectations have not been met. While I try to get clear with what it is that I want, I also keep it very open-ended. Okay? Because I want to be able to yield to life, to whatever happens. For example, I have two websites. I have one that's for my clinical work, and I have one that's kind of to embark more like the media personality and coaching and all that. And that website has been 85% finished for 9 months. And you've heard that story. And I was very pushy and very stressed out with the designers, and when are we going to do this? And he's saying, you need to do this first, you need to build this foundation. And there was a point where there was like some tension that was kicked up. And yet a month later I realized that that was not the direction I wanted to go. And it was great that we didn't build that. Otherwise I'd have to go back and pay more money. And after that experience, I also learned more about myself and how I conduct business. So it wasn't even about like getting the website done. It was like, how am I being with my team and my staff? Here I'm trying to teach, they respect me, and they shot a video of me teaching like meditation, and I'm like, when is that going to get done? I need this done right now. I mean, I wasn't practicing who I claimed to be. And so at every moment, there's no such thing as being a spiritual person. There's no such thing as that. You're spiritual now. It's whether or not you're awake to that, whether or not you're being gentle, whether or not you're connected to source energy.